Hello, everyone. We collected terminology from phone manuals made by Huawei, a multinational telecommunications and consumer electronics company based in China. First, let's look at the extraction process.
Well, our team did automatic extraction of the bilingual user guides of Huawei phones. Firstly, I would like to introduce the results of Chinese version, and Emily will do the English version. We think both the Chinese and English versions show that automatic extraction is more efficient in extracting a large quantity of terms, but also not as smart as human extraction. And here are our findings. Firstly, as for mother term, pin is a frequent used term in the manual. So here, pin is a mother term. And for orthographic variants, some terms can be written with 2 characters or 1, generating variants like with the word pictures. And for noise part, we found 智能省, the verb safe frequently appears with the term smart, and because Chinese has no spaces, this throughout the term extractor. And for silence part, Sketch Engine extracted 见导航 as a term, but it omitted the character 3, 三, which should be put in front of 见, so the complete term should be 三键导航, meaning 3 key navigation. At last, for stop list, to improve the results, we added terms of address like 您, 你, 他, which are polite form of you and the word he or they, and so on. And we also put punctuation marks and conjunctions. The results change, the noise disappears. So some words still remain the results, and that might be because our stop list is not that comprehensive.
Moving on to English. English also found the term screen as well as a few other big ones, the most important of which was mode. Some orthographic variants were found in conjugation with British English versus US spelling and spacing. We also had the issue of collocations in English, especially with the term touch, so we added that to stop list. And we also missed repetitious headers because they often use ordinary words. Lastly, we also had an issue with lemmatization because there are needs in English that just don't exist in Chinese, like, for example, the letter S or capitalization variances and the word the. And adding those S's or the word the or capitalization actually changes the concept into something different. It can clarify whether it's a button or just a descriptor. Now moving on to talk about terminology, database, and the concept system.
Yeah, these are our 2 bilingual term bases. And there are some differences between the manual database and the automatic database. First, in quantity, during manual extraction, we usually focus on the characters in a bold front or header, while Sketch Engine automatically goes through whole text and extracts as much as it can. So automatic extraction can bring more results. However, in quality, manual extraction is better than the automatic one. Noise and silence are easy to be observed in the results, as my teammates have mentioned before. And as we have extracted both Chinese terms and English terms, we can find that some terms in English don't look like terms in Chinese. For example, toggle can be a term, but in Chinese it is 开启 or 打开, meaning open or turn on. It is common, but not a true term in Chinese. Then Mariah will say something about a concept system.
Here you can see our English concept system. We decided to separate the concept system based on subject fields, which you can see in the second line from the top. We didn't include all of the terms that are in our term base here because there were simply too many to fit on one slide. So instead, we chose a few terms that were representative of each subject field to include in the concept system. To show the relationship between different subordinate and superordinate terms, we decided to use different colors to represent these relationships. And you can see here that the terms that are the same color are coordinate terms. On the next slide, you can see that we also created a Chinese concept system, and it's exactly the same as our English concept system, just represented with the terms from our Chinese term base.
Next, we'll go over some recommendations and costs. This spreadsheet shows how much time each team member spent on both manual and automatic term extraction. As expected, automatic term extraction took significantly less time per page at an average of 0.46 minutes versus 10.8 minutes for manual extraction. Assuming a rate of $20 per hour, the cost per page for manual extraction was about $3.60, but only 15 cents for automatic extraction.
So based on our time and cost analysis, we have the following 3 recommendations we would like to give to our client. And as you can see from the toolbar chart at the bottom of the page, the length of Huawei's manuals tend to range from 100 to 200 pages. So it would be much time effective and cost effective to utilize automatic extractions plus manual cleanup instead of manual extractions for all the terms. And the second recommendations would be more like a stakeholder education. We would like our clients to know about that the turnaround time for term-based cleanup and term extractions can vary from languages to languages. For example, the time spent for Chinese were longer than for English. And the main reason we believe is because there's no blank space between Chinese words, and it's very hard to apply stop list in Chinese. So Chinese term extractions seem to take longer times. And when it comes to term repetitions, we believe that when a new manual comes out, we don't need to build the term base from scratch. We can update the previous term base based on previous manuals, since there's the term repetitions rates are very high in terms of Huawei's manuals.
Thank you so much for watching.